enjoy most about being in sports?
Everything. Looking back, I mean, I miss it all. Like, even aside from the gassers, aside from waking up crazy early in the morning, just the ability to be around people who wanted better for themselves. Not necessarily,
Nice.
we had different goals, but we had a commonality. And
Mm-hmm.
so being around that spirit, that energy,
Right.
it's enriching, it's motivating. Um, and sometimes you take it for granted until you're outside of that environment, or you're not around that same energy. So I would probably say that's the most rewarding part. It's like playing basketball.
Right.
Sometimes you play pickup basketball in the gym. You're not playing with Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant, but the guy that works at the plant down the street, he's giving his all on the court, and he makes the game exciting because he's bringing his best. He's bringing good energy. He's playing good team ball. And so that in itself, to me, I think is a reward.
Okay. So what was you were on the first Georgia State football team, and you built it. You were one of the Curry boys, right?
Yeah. One of the
Bill
guys.
Curry that we all love. What was your favorite game?
I'm going to have to say the first game. Second game will probably be the Alabama game, all in the first season. First college game. That's probably the number one reason. First game for Georgia State as a school. And then being able to play in the Dome. I'm from the Metro Atlanta area. And so in high school in Georgia, I would say playing in the Georgia Dome was a bit of it was a big deal. If you get to the playoffs, you get to play in the Dome. That was a big deal. And so playing our first game in the Georgia Dome after a season before of just fighting and playing each other and playing nobody. Oh, finally we can play somebody else. So I would say that's still my favorite game.
That was quite a lift you all did from no locker rooms to getting on a bus and because I taught there, but I will say I teach event management, and so I taught inside the Georgia Dome a lot of the time. And that first game, there were the management at the Dome found me in the stadium and said, this is the loudest the Dome had ever been, including concerts. And to see the alums crying when the band came out, the flags came out, and all, it was the most wheelchairs I'd ever seen at any game, because all these alums who forever had their kids go to Georgia or Georgia Tech, and they were fans of Georgia, because in the South, you better be a football fan, you better pick a side, stay there. Okay, yeah. So they had their entire families with them. It was like, I cannot tell you how many people were there, and I don't think there'd ever been that many people in wheelchairs, but it was all these alums, they were coming. And the minute the band came out, they were in tears. I was just, it was the coolest thing, because I think football is, I think we forget about sports as ancillary involvement, which can be marching bands, pep bands, flags, twirling, all the halftime stuff, the timeout stuff, the tailgating, all that creates a belongingness outside of just the sports. I'm not sure what you all model as belongingness as a team actually extends into the stands and before and after, but I'm not certain as you're a student athlete you understand that, because there's a little bit of chaos going on in your life with class and all the extra stuff and practice, and and then sometimes you eat, and sleep, and that every once in a while, and that sort of
once in a while.
Well,
you eat a lot, and you might get some sleep
every once in a while, every once in a while. All right, Michael. So Give us where you went to school, how you got in, your major, all that kind of stuff.
So I grew up in Gwinnett County, so Metro Atlanta, right outside of the city. And I played basketball and baseball in high school. But once I got to junior year, I decided I needed to make a decision on what I was going to do so I can kind of focus on what my next move would be. So trying to get a scholarship, just weighing the pros and the cons, I saw that I was doing a lot better at baseball, and I felt like my future was going to go a lot further with that sport. And so junior year, I decided to stop basketball, and I really just focused in on baseball. And I had a really good senior year, and Coach Hurst came to watch me play.
Coach Hurst.
Yeah. Coach Hurst came to watch me play at Berkmar High School, and he offered me a scholarship. Well, first it was Frady. Frady came to see me play.
Oh, okay.
And then I guess he went and talked to Coach Hurst, and then Coach Hurst wanted to come out and see me for himself. And then right after that, after the game, he came and talked to me and said, "I want you to play for me." And he wanted to answer on the spot, but I didn't know anything about Georgia State. I said, I'll think about it. I knew Georgia State was downtown. I knew it was Division I. So all of that looked good, but I needed to go and take a visit and do all that stuff. And so I went, took a visit, had lunch with my mom, Coach Frady, Coach Hurst. We ate at 6 Feet Under.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Said some
So,
good.
and yeah, so I'll always remember that visit, and then the rest was history. I accepted the offer, and then I came downtown, and so that's where it started.
What was your major?
So initially, I picked business,
Mm-hmm.
and after taking accounting, I decided to switch. Yeah. After accounting, I got through accounting, and they told me I was going to have to take a higher level accounting to keep going. And that's when I decided, you know what, let me switch to economics. I wanted something that, economics is pretty tough,
Yes. Yes.
especially as a student athlete, given how busy we are and stuff like that. But I did want a respectable degree once I finished. And then I minored in sociology.
Okay.
And so because I was intrigued with sociology and psychology and all that stuff like that.
How people think and
how people think and all those kind of things, and I still am. But so majored in econ, minored in sociology.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
So how was your baseball career? I mean, what did you like about it? I mean, what was some of the goals of it, or seasons, or did you have a great team, or something?
Yeah. So freshman year, I had a pretty good season, and for freshman year. The interesting thing about college athletics is most of the people on your team were the best player on their high school team.
Right.
So I went from being, I was MVP and all state and all county and stuff like that in high school. And then when I showed up on campus freshman year, now I have to kind of work my way back up from the bottom. So now you're competing against juniors and seniors who've already had years of college experience. And so now you're trying to prove yourself against, everybody on the team was the best player in their high school.
Right.
And so freshman year went well. Hit a sophomore slump. Junior year went pretty good, and then senior year we won conference.
Yes.
And that was the first time we had ever won conference in school history. And to this day, we still have the record for the most wins in a season. And so I know you remember that season. That was my favorite season, was senior year. That was a magical season.
Where did you go to school? What sport did you play? What was your major? Give us a little bit about that.
So I am born and raised in Georgia. I went to the University of Georgia State and went and played softball there for 4 years. Graduated in 2015, and my degree is in economics with a minor in hospitality administration.
Awesome. Okay. I think that's a good idea. And so what position did you play?
So I was a pitcher.
Okay.
A PO, pitcher only.
And how did you get into, why did you start playing softball?
Yeah, so I was one of those kids that my parents tried me in every sport, and a lot of different activities, ballet, tap, jazz, gymnastics, you name it. Nothing was really clicking. And then my father one day was, let's just try t-ball. And so started out, really took on to it, picked it up really quick and grew and grew and grew. And then I was the tallest girl on the team. And so the tallest girl just automatically becomes the pitcher most of the times. And
yeah, oh, that's true. That's true.
yeah, so slowly started taking lessons, picked up the skills, and then played a lot of travel ball all across the country, was very blessed to be able to play for a very high competitive team. And then that is where I was seen by college coaches, and I got a full ride, an offer to Georgia State. And yeah, that's how that went.
Okay, so what is your favorite part about softball?
Oh, well, I would say for a pitcher, it was being in the middle of everything,
Okay.
kind of being in control of the game, and just having that pressure on your shoulders of, if they get a home run, then that's on me. If they hit, one to the fence, that's on me. If they strike out, that's on me. It's great, but yeah, just having a say in pretty much every play of the game.
Okay.
That was my favorite part.
That you don't shy away from responsibility.
Oh no.
Okay, good. Okay, that's excellent. Okay, what was your favorite game?
Oh.
And it could be high school or college. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I would say my favorite game, being at Georgia State, was when we played University of Alabama. I think it was my freshman year. Now it's all kind of blurring together. It was in my freshman or sophomore year, I can't remember. But that year they ended up winning the World Series. They'd only lost 6 games the entire year, and we came to their field, beat them. It was wild. I think at that time it was the first win in Georgia State history over like the highest, the number 1 ranked team within the sport and all that stuff. So it was pretty special. That was a good bus ride home from Tuscaloosa.